prophecy of Nebo. Nebo is the announcer or the herald for Marduk, who is Baal, and his dragon, which is Mushusu. And in the end times, the likeness of this is seen in Mystery Babylon in Jerusalem, because that likeness and those figures are in the same manner as it was in ancient Babylon. It will be in the days of Jerusalem for those 1260 days, as Nebo is a prophetic foreshadow of what was to come with the false prophet. The herald of the king of Babylon. His announcer, his name, Nebo. And it's where we get the word Nabu, which is Navi, the word for prophet. And Marduk, the king of Babylon, who was Baal. And Baal was the sign of Moloch, which is the bull. And he had an associate with him, which was the dragon of Babylon, called Mushusu. And this is all what is seen working together, in which we find in the end times be fulfilled in the Bible of the book of Revelation. Daniel chapter 3, verse 1 through 3 talks about the king of Babylon and his announcer. Watch this. Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold, whose height was 80 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes, the governors, the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Then the princes, the governors, the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then a herald was announced for the king of Babylon and his image. Watch this. Daniel chapter 3, verse 4. Then an herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages. So the herald, his prophet, would announce to all the nations, all you kindreds, nations, and languages and tongues, you need to worship the image. The king of Babylon had an image. Daniel chapter 3, verse 5 says, that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, you shall fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king hath set up. Now we see this in the likeness. For one, we have the king of Babylon, his image. We have his associate, which is Mushusu, the Babylon dragon, right? And yet we have his announcer, which is Nebo, their prophet, the announcer of their herald, right? The announcer tells everybody, you got to bow down and worship the image or you're going to be killed. This is all what occurred in Babylon. And we see this fulfilled in the end times in the same manner. Jerusalem, that whore, that great city, that mighty city, Babylon the Great. Revelation chapter 7 verse 5 says, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And it is here where we see in Jerusalem where the beast will be given power over all the kindreds, nations, and languages and tongues. Revelation chapter 13 verse 5 talks about the beast given power for the 42 months. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. So this is the 1260 days, the 42 months in which the plagues and the prophecy will be prophesied over the kingdom of Babylon and the beast kingdom of the earth. Revelation chapter 11 verse 3 says, and I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days clothed in sackcloth. And this is the same 1260 days in which the king of Babylon will have power from Jerusalem. Now watch very, very closely. The king of Babylon is given dominion over the nations, and we'll know that by verse 7 of Revelation chapter 13. It says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. So we see this here. For the 42 months, the beast is given power over all kindreds, nations, and languages. And who heralds that? Who announces that? Watch this. Revelation chapter 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. It is here that we see the second beast, which is the false prophet in the book of Revelation. And what the false prophet does and says, watch this, Revelation 13:12, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them to dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. So we see the The false prophet, the announcer, is the one who causes all the world to worship the first beast. Ready? Watch this. Over all those kindreds, nations, and languages. Revelation chapter 13, verse 14, here he begins to make the declaration about the image and the worship. Revelation chapter 13, verse 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. So we see the false prophet, their announcer, announced to the earth that they should make an image to the king of Babylon, to the beast, and that all kindreds, nations, and languages need to bow down to that image or they will be killed, just like in Babylon. And in Babylon, it had those three working together. Now watch this. Revelation chapter 16, verse 13 and 14. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them together to battle of that great day of God Almighty. So what we see here, okay, is a herald in ancient Babylon called Nebo. And the word for Nebo is Nabu, which means prophet, where we get the word Navi, the word prophet. And that Nebo would herald the king of Marduk, the king of Babylon, and his dragon, that everybody must prostrate and bow down and worship or be killed. And we know that it's a false prophet because in the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 20, it says, and the beast and the false prophet that wrought miracles in his sight. And in Revelation chapter 19, verse 20, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of burning fire with brimstone. So we see that the beast, the false prophet are thrown into the fire. The dragon is chained up for 1,000 years on Christ's return. And then we still see that there's those three likenesses of those people, just like the time of ancient Babylon with Nebo. The false prophet, who is Nebo. Then we have the king of Babylon, Marduk, who is the beast, the Antichrist, which is Baal. Then we have the Babylon dragon, which is Satan, which is Mushusu, dragon of Babylon. And we have the image of the king of Babylon, which is the image of Baal, which is the image of the beast in the end times, which everybody's told to bow down to by the herald, who is Nebo, Navu, which is Navi, the prophet. Okay? So what we have here is Nebo of ancient Babylon, who is the false prophet of the book of Revelation. And this is all what is written that will be so, and this prophecy will come to pass. And this is the prophecy of Nebo.